Hello friends, my name is The Otter, and this is the Fox 36 Rhythm. And when you go inside of a bike shop, they're everywhere. So this one in particular is a 2021 model, takeoff from Allevo. So we're gonna do a beginner's guide, how to set her up. So hopefully this will be a little bit of trickle down setup, because currently on my bike is the most legendary suspension combo ever. A custom tuned Fox 38 GripX damper, highly developed and tuned from years of setting things up. So let's get into this beginner's guide. For $5, there's a PDF, and you can skip this video and get all the secrets from this fork and how to set it up, custom tune it, everything else. But if you're broke, 36 Rhythm rider, let's get into the setup video. So you don't have to do this step, but I am particularly nerdy. Located on the back of the crown, we're gonna pull this off. This just helps us know what we're dealing with. You could do this on your phone, etc. So there's a couple really important things we wanna look at on here. So it's actually a 2021, or is it a 2022? 36 floats, 29er Rhythm, 160 millimeters of travel, grip sweeper adjuster. So we're looking, this is all mumbo jumbo. So what we're looking for is this number right here, the rake. So 44 millimeter rake. This is like the most common combo. So the rake is how much the fork is set back here. If it's 51 millimeters, you're gonna have a little bit of a weird, not weird, but different steering characteristic, but this one's new enough to have the 44 millimeter rake. And they list them all out like that. But located on the back of the fork, we got an air pressure guide and a rebound guide, which is super helpful. So before I put it on the bike, let's do it right here. So this is the rebound adjuster. Plus is slower, minus is faster. So we got about 24 clicks of rebound. So when you turn this clockwise, that's slower. Another way to tell if it's slower or faster, when you put it on the fully fast setting, there's a little bit of a gap here. So there's a needle in here. Right now the needle's all the way out here, is why the little gap, the gap is right here. So when I screw it all the way in, the gap disappears because the needle's going up. So we're gonna put it to the fully closed setting, fully clockwise. And then we're gonna go over here and pull off our weight. So I am 190 pounds, which is second from the bottom range. So even though my weight is on the lower end of the spectrum, I'm still gonna pump this up to 90 PSI according to the chart. And then we got the rebound, Fit 4, grip, which is the same, 7 to 5 clicks. So fully closed, we're gonna count 7 to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oily, they like to leak oil. The range of clicks according to the chart was 7 to 5. So we always wanna start with the highest recommended air pressure and the fastest recommended rebound clicks. So it's 7 clicks from fully closed. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It gets a little bit stiff at the end. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're starting out with the recommended ways of doing things, and then we'll show you the Otter way. Okay, so it's a lot easier to show you when this is off the bike. So before we set out on a tuning mission, maybe you rode this fork for years, we want to make sure everything is functioning. So we have the grip sweeper lever, and when we turn that thing all the way clockwise, the fork should be almost locked out. I mean, well, I'll do this on the bike too. So that thing is hella stiff. And then let's make sure the fork's rebounding. If it's not rebounding or compressing or having problems, you're never gonna get a good setup. Okay, so the needle is completely wound out. We can tell from the gap right here. It rebounds real quick. So it's a subtle difference in fully slow to fully fast rebound, but I can tell this fork is fully working. So now let's put this thing back to where it was, 7 clicks. So we're gonna need a shock pump. Highly recommend getting the Fox digital shock pump because the Fox one goes up to 300 PSI. Do not buy the RockShox one. I have a Blackburn one because I have that one. Here's the cheapest one ever on Amazon, it's about $15. I link these stuff in the description if you guys are interested. And I'm doing this off the bike because it just makes life a little bit easier to film. But you could also do this on the bike. So we set the rebound, and now we're gonna set the pressure. And I'm gonna use the junky Amazon one and show you why you should get a digital one. That looks like about 90. So we can see that it was about 8 PSI off with the Amazon one. So 8 PSI in an air suspension fork could be day and night difference. So that's why you kind of want to use one of these. Personally, when I pump these up, if I want 90, I'll go to like 93, 95. So we're starting with high pressure because the 36 millimeter stanchion forks do not want this saggy down into the travel. Get away with saggy forks when you got big old girthy 38 stanchions. So this fender is going to keep the mud out of your eyes if it's winter riding, held in with straps. There is screw holes on the back, but I couldn't find any fenders for it online. So the fork's mounted up. It's probably how it is on your bike, mounted up. Good idea before we set up or ride, drop it. If something's loose, like free play, you'll hear it. Make sure our headset is not loose. Grab the front brake, shake it around. So like I covered earlier, we're on the higher end of the rebound spectrum, recommended rebound spectrum. Higher end of the air pressure because the 36 millimeter stanchions, you want this fork to ride high in its travel. If you take anything away from this video, take that away. Welcome to the test track. So you should be able to find a test track near you. Very simple, basic set of trails. And let's start it out. Pushing that sag indicator O-ring down, we'll see how much travel we're using. Okay, so feels money. So what I just showed you is 80% of my riding and most people's riding is perfectly sufficient. I'm gonna say it twice. Extra air pressure, faster rebound. But if you like to stupidly huck it to flat, let's go into stage 2 of setup on the 36 Rhythm. So this is my legendary kicker ramp, and it's about knee high. It's characterized by a flat landing. And if you do these kind of jumps, you might get a metallic clinky clink. So let's find out if it makes the noise. So that was a horrific, violent bottom out, and you only have a few of those before you start breaking something in your fork. So what's the easiest way to stop that? So 2 options without opening this up, which is a little sophisticated. We're gonna try it with compression, which I have to warn you can create an imbalance and make you crash, or we can just put more air pressure in it. Just so you know, that bottom out like literally hurt my wrist. If you don't set this fork up right, it really can fuck you up. I've hurt my wrist on this fork before. So let's try it. See if there's an imbalance. I personally find these forks best when we don't use this sweeper lever, but it perfectly works. So let's try it with 100. So it's definitely better with air pressure versus compression. But now we're going to do a verification run. Okay, so we got 100 PSI in there. And it fully works to prevent bottom outs. But the tire is skipping off the ground. So I'm filming it on the chest. I'm going to hook up the pole mount camera to show you So I discovered, you may discover as well, the compression turned on creates a harsh feeling, but it does prevent the horrible metallic hard bottom out. Raising the pressure up 10 PSI up to 100 creates a better feel, but during certain events, the rebound, the wheel's bouncing off the ground. So what are we gonna do? Most people would think the rebound's too fast, turn it slower. So we don't want to turn the rebound slower because then we're going to lose traction control. We want a perfect middle ground. So at this point, if you didn't have a purse full of tools, you would have to either turn the compression on or slow the rebound. We'd have to work on the damper side of things because the harsh bottom out will literally hurt your wrist, make you crash, and break your fork. So we're going to go into step 3 of the most advanced section of tuning on the trail with 36 rhythm. And we got volume tokens and a wrench. Most of these 36 rhythms, they come from a manufacturer and they have tokens built in. So I'm going to guess that this one has 1 token. When I'm doing this on the trail side, I like to put the bike on the ground, because I recently dropped my bike on the ground, or it fell over, so we're going to let all the pressure out of this. Ooh, the shock pump might be broken. The tool on the Fox top caps is a 32 millimeter. We need to make sure this is flat. So notice these fingers are pushing down because there's not much purchase area on these little knobs. And I can tell you my first 3 Fox forks had butchered up air caps. So at this point, if there's air in here, this would be a projectile and it could kill you. Dun, 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 dun. Oh shoot, it's got 2 tokens in it. Uh-oh. So I was fully expecting 1 token, we have 2. So I just did a little bit of research and it looks like with 160 millimeters of travel, it can take up to 6 tokens. Super important step, middle of pumping this. We're gonna squish it down and keep pumping. Okay, so we're gonna go to, sometimes you can lower the pressure with tokens, but I'm gonna do 90. This is 4 tokens So air pressure and tire casing can play a big deal. So I'm at my magic number of like 23, 24. So I know I can trust the tire. The final boss here. It's a poorly built whoop section, and I'm gonna purposely nose case it, and we'll see how supportive this is. So we got this spring rate and ramp up control dialed. Last step of this is we're gonna set some rebound. We got some fun little jumps here. So it's currently in the recommended higher setting, 7 clicks from closed.